Okay, so let's discuss some exercises here. We start from exercise 20.1. So we have A is the set. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we have this relation. So we want to give an example of elements A and B and in A such that A is related to B. So this one should be easy. Why? Because for example, like this one, we take A is equal to 1, and then B is equal to 1, and we know that 1, 1 is in R, right? So we have, here 1 is related to 1. So this one is for 20.1A, and you can take another example also, for example, like this one, maybe for number A. So you have A is equal to 1 and then B is equal to 3. That's also okay. So we know that 1, 3 is in R. So we have 1 is related to 3. So that's another example. And next, for point B, give an example of elements A and B in A such that A is not related to B. So we can check from number 1 first. So we have 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, but we don't have 1, 5, right? So we know that when A is equal to 1 and then B is equal to 5, we have 1, 5 is not in R. So that means, here, 1 is not related to 5. So, actually the answer is not unique. So you can find another one because this one consists of 6 elements. So A cross A will be 6 times 6, 36. But here we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? So 36 minus 10 is 26. So this will be, many more for pair of A and B such that A is not related to B. So there's only one answer. So basically it's not unique. And next, for C, for A in A, so we take A fixed, okay? And then we want to write down 6 sets, S1, S2, up to S6. So we want to see all elements such that A is related to the elements, right? So we start from S1. So 1 is related to what? We have here 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So S1 consists of 1, 2, 3, and 4. How about S2? So remember when we have this pair, this one is ordered pair. So if you take the position, the first position and second position, you take around, then this will be different. So you have S2 here so you have to start with this, right? 2, 3, right? So you have S2 will contain 3 and then 5 and 6. Okay, should be okay. And then how about S3? This one. So 3 is related to what? We have 5, only 5, singleton 5, and then S4 consists of 5 only, S6 now. S5 and S6. And S5 is empty, because 5 is not related to anyone from 1 to 6. So S5 is empty, and this S6 is also empty. Hey, wait, S4 is 5 and 6. Sorry. Yeah, I misread this one. So S4 is, here. Yeah, contains 5 and 6. S5 is empty, and S6 is empty set. Any correction maybe? Maybe I'm not careful enough. Yeah, should be correct, right? Correct, yeah. Okay. So next for D, again, almost the same thing. For A in A, we define TA is the set in A such that X is related to A. So when T1, so when A is equal to 1, so we change this part, become 1, this one, 1. So what is this? We have here, right? Is it only 1? Yeah, only 1. Eh? So singleton 1 here. And then how about T2? T2 is this. So we have 1. And then what again? Only 1. So we only have 1 here. T3, 3 is here. 1, 2. And then, yeah, that's all. So we have 1 and 2. T4, what is it? 1. That's it. Only 1. So 1, and then T5, we have 2, 3, and 4. So 2, 3, 4. And then T6 is, yeah, here. 2 and 4, right? 2 and 4. So that's all for 20.1. Maybe any question or maybe any comment, or maybe I write wrongly. Okay, so be clear. And the next one maybe is a bit more intricate, should be, but yeah, actually it should be easy enough. So 20.2, we have a relation from R to R defined by, yeah, all of this. So we want to graph R as a subset of R2. So we have 20.2a. So what is it? X is related to Y if X is less than or equal to Y. So we know that when we have here in R2, so we must define first what is the meaning of Y is equal to X. Y is equal to X, that means, yeah, we have this, right? Okay, so this one is X-axis, this one is Y-axis. So whenever you have this and you go up, then yeah, you get the same length from here to here, and then from 0, 0 from center go up or go down. That will be the same as when you go from center to the right or to the left. So this one is Y is equal to X. And then where is, because when you see when X is less than or equal to Y, okay, so it can be X is equal to Y. That means everything in this line. And then where is it? X is less than or equal to Y. So what you have is everything on the right hand side here, correct? Because for example, when you have this one is 4, and then you go up a little bit, oh, this one is 1, so this one is wrong, so cannot be here. So maybe, yeah, around here. So just check. For example, this one is 2, and then this one is 1, and then yeah, this one is 1, 2, right? So you have X is less than or equal to 2, yeah. So XS is less than or equal to Y. So it should be all of this. So everything in this line, and then everything above the line. So that's all where we have X, Y, where X is less than or equal to Y. Okay, any question? Oh, no. So, okay, we go to the next one. What happens if we change the direction here? X is greater than or equal to Y. Then this will be the same. X is equal to Y here. Correct? And then, yeah, XY, where X is greater than or equal to Y, that should be here. Okay. So everything below the line. And also everything, yeah, in the line. Okay. We go to the next one. So what we have, C, X greater than Y. So how to draw when we don't have equality? Greater than Y. So usually if we do not want to include the line, so we use the dash line, and then yeah, everything below the dash line. So this one is, yeah, the set of, yeah, here, the set of here, right? The set of X comma Y where X is greater than Y. So hopefully that's clear enough. And X is equal to Y, and then where is it? X is equal to Y, then you know, yeah, Y, X, and this one, very ugly. Lousy. Okay, so this one is X is equal to Y. And the last question. How about this one? X is not equal to Y. Where is it? Anyone? Any idea?
Above and below the line.
Above and, yeah, okay. Above and below. So why I cannot draw here? So we use the dash line, and then we shadow everything in above and below the line. So that's very good. Okay, so that's for 20.1 and 20.2. Maybe we can go to the next one, 20.3. Hopefully you already catch the idea about the reflexivity, symmetric, and transitivity or anti-symmetric. So here we define a relation on R. So we have in R cross R, X is related to Y if X times Y is less than 0. So what is the meaning here? When X and Y, when you multiply them and the result is negative, then yeah, the first one can be positive, but the second one should be negative. Or the first one is negative and then the second one should be positive, right? So different sign. And both of them cannot be 0. Why? Because when X is 0, 0 times whatever, then becomes 0. So cannot be less than 0. So we have that one. So we want to describe, so 20.3a. So what is it? Our R is here, X comma Y in R cross R such that, yeah, XY less than 0. Yeah. And then the next one for B, we want to graph it. So we want to draw this one is X, this one is Y. And then where is it? When X is positive, then Y is negative. It should be here, correct? But we cannot include 0. So this one is, whatever here is not included. So how to draw dash line in here? Yeah, whatever here is not included. Whatever here is not included. Because when X is 0 or Y is 0, then yeah, it will mess everything here, right? Because 0 times everything becomes 0. And is that all? Of course no, right? Because we know when Y is positive and then X is negative, that's also work. So we have this one. this one, then everything here. So that's the graphic for our relation. And then the last one is the big job for us. So is it reflexive? Is it reflexive? Anyone? If you have X and X, is X related to X? Is it? Is it correct? X related to X? Yeah, of course, for all X here. Or for all real number X, is it correct? Of course, no, right? Yeah, the answer is no. Why? Because when you have, for example, when you have a 1 times 1 is 1, right? This one is greater than 0. So 1 is not related to 1. So it's not reflexive. So how about the symmetric? Is it symmetric? How is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Correct. Because when you have xy is less than 0, then yx, yeah, that's the same thing with xy, right? That should be less than 0. And then how about transitive? Is it transitive? Is it correct when we have xy is less than 0 and yz less than 0, then xz less than 0? This is the answer. This is the question, right? For transitivity. For example, yeah, because the x and y different sign, and then why is it yes? So x and y different sign, right? And then y and z is different sign. For example, when x is positive, y should be negative. Y negative, z should be positive, right? So x and z, both of them are positive. That's the same when x is negative. Yeah, but I mean, when it is not transitive, we also can do the counter example. That's the easiest one. So for example, like when 1 times minus 1 less than 0, and then we have minus 1 times 2 less than 0, but we have from here 1 times 2 is greater than 0. So it's not transitive. So how about the last one? Is it anti-symmetric? Of course, no. Because yeah, when for example, again, when we have the quantifier for all, then how to say that it is not true or how to say that it is false, then we only have to say some counter example. So one example is enough. So that's it. If we have the quantifier is universal, or we say that for all. That's why here anti-symmetric, yeah, we just want to say one example. For example, like 1 times negative 2. 1 times negative 2 is less than 0. And then we have negative 2 times 1 is less than 0. But here we don't have what? 1 is not equal to negative 2. So it is not anti-symmetric. Okay, so hopefully that's clear also. And I think we can continue for the next one. So we just try to use all of our time. Okay, so again, 20.4. Hey, 20.4. So this one, we want to describe R using set builder notation. So our R here is whatever x comma y, where x minus y is equal to, oh no, x is in y, in z. So the difference is an integer. Okay. And then we want to graph them. Okay. So do you know how to draw this one? Or we leave it as exercise? Usually that's happen, right? So the idea is like this. When you have integer, this one is difficult to draw because I don't know why they asked to draw. But the thing is like this. When you have, for example, like x in z, and then y also in z, right? X minus y will be in z, right? So every pairs of integer will be included. Okay. So hopefully that's clear enough. And basically, when you have a real number, every times when you have a real number, then you will have what? You will have the, how is it called? You will have, when you have real number, it can be represented in decimal places. So whatever your x in R, then you can write x as maybe whatever A1, A2, blah, 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 AK, maybe this one AK plus 1, this one point, AK plus 1, blah, 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 and so on, right? So basically, everything after our point here, so the integer parts, they are the same. So that will be whatever inside our R. That's why I'm saying it's difficult to draw because imagine you have 1,5, that will be included, right? I mean 1,5 and 1.5, 2.5, that will be included. So every number where they have integer parts are the same, that will be related. So almost everything there. Even there's an irrational number, that also can be included because, for example, when you have pi and also pi plus 1, that's also included. That's why that's almost cover everything. But the thing is, when you have 1,1 and then 1.1,1 maybe, this one is not in R, right? So you have a lot of points almost everywhere, but there are some points that are not included. So that's why I say this one is, I think, it's not reliable to draw because almost everything. Every time you get the integer parts are the same, then they are related. But every time when the integer parts are not integer parts, the integer parts are, I mean, everything behind the point here, if they are the same, then they will be related. But if here, this one is 0.1, right? This one is 0.0, right? So they are different. They are not included. So that's it. And how about our C? Is it reflexive? Is it correct? Where the difference is integer. Is it x minus x in Z? Of course, because x minus x is 0, and 0 is an integer. And then next, symmetric. Is it correct? Yeah, of course, because when you have x minus y is in Z, then y minus x is whatever minus here, and minus of an integer will be integer also, right? And how about the transitivity? What happen if, yes, okay, good. Yeah, if we have x minus y, maybe k in Z, and then y minus Z, maybe L in Z, then what is it? X minus Z will be x minus y plus y minus Z, right? So this one is k, this one is L. So the sum of two integer is integer. Okay. And how about the anti-symmetric? I. Is it correct? Of course, no. Yeah. Why? Because yeah, we know that 1 minus 4 is minus 3 in Z. And then we have 4 minus 1. Yeah, 1 minus 4 and 4 minus 1, right? 4 minus 1 is 3, also in Z. But 1 is not equal to 4. So it is not anti-symmetric. And I think we can go further for the last one to discuss together. And later on, I think, yeah, you can try to discuss with your friend for 20.6. So I think we should finish first 20.5. Or maybe you can, yeah, try by yourself. That's also fine. So 20.5 A, we want to describe R as a set using set builder notation. Okay. Is, yeah, already tired. So sorry. Okay. We define a relation R on Z, A related to B if A minus B is even. Okay, so our R, what is it? X comma Y in Z cross Z. We have X minus Y is equal to times something. Something is an integer, right? 2 times an integer. So that's the meaning of even. Okay. And we want to prove that R is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So yeah, just try lah. Reflexive. Is it correct? Yeah, should be correct, right? Because for every x in Z, we have x minus x is equal to 0 is 2 times 0. So yeah, this one is an even integer, right? So this one is true. And then how about the symmetric? Is it correct? For every x in Z, x and y lah, in Z. So when x minus y is 2 times something, where something is in Z, right? So 2 times an integer here. What happened with y minus x is minus 2k. Minus 2k, we can say 2 times minus k, right? And this one is in Z also, right? So yeah, of course, it is symmetric. How about the transitivity? If so, for every x, y, and z in Z, what we have when x minus y is 2 times k and y minus z is 2l maybe, k and l are integer, then what we have x minus z is x minus y plus y minus z, right? So this one is 2k plus 2l. Then we have 2 times k plus l. So k plus l will be an integer also. So we have our relation here are reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So we go for the last two question. So because it's almost 7 p.m. So we go to point C. Is it anti-symmetric? Of course, no. Why? Yeah, just choose a number. So for example, like when we have 2 and 3, right? 2, 3 in Z. So there exists 2, 4 maybe. We know that 2 minus 4 is minus 2. That will be 2 times minus 1. And also 4 minus 2 is 2. Then 2 times 1, right? So yeah, of course, they are related. We know that 2 is related to 4 and 4 is related to 2. But 2 is not equal to 4. So hopefully that's clear enough. And the last one, for which integers b is it the case that 1 is related to b? Which integer? So we want to collect all of them maybe in A. So we have every b in Z such that 1 is related to b, right? So we want to collect everything where b minus 1 is equal to 2 times something where k is in Z, right? So what is our b? Our b is every integer that we can represent it as 2 times something plus 1, right? 2 times an integer. Okay. So what is it? Yeah, you have 2k plus 1 such that k is in Z. So every odd integer that will be related to 1. So I think that's all. Maybe any question for 20.1 up to 20.5? Okay, no question. Okay, so since there is no question, I can stop the recording. Where is the recording?